We always knew something was wrong, but we didn't know what was wrong.
It was devastating, and I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know anyone with autism, so it was a shock because we didn't know exactly what it was. And then just the fear of, you just want your kid to be normal. So, and then after we started reading about it, and that's when we had it, and then came to terms, and we just followed the steps on getting him the help and working through it. We ended up phoning Reach, and we set up a meeting, and they had a team of people to meet with us to see what Ethan's needs were.
We had no answers until we found the Reach Foundation. Once we found out about the diagnosis, now we got a starting point. Now we know, okay, now what are we gonna do to try to help him? Before, we didn't have any idea of what direction to go in.
And they got to know him, and then they put together a program for him for school and home.
His biggest developmental delay was socially. He had friends at school, but he didn't know how to interact with them. In a way, he didn't know how to interact with us. Very little eye contact, almost no eye contact with kids at school. And it affected us vacations. I didn't want our other kids to be affected, so Michelle would take the two older kids and go on vacation with the family to Mexico. I would take time off work and just stay home with him and our younger son, right? Because Ethan's view was, when he was on a plane, if he wanted off right now. He didn't understand, hey, in a half an hour we're gonna be there or whatever. So for 6 years we did that.
He didn't really look outside of himself, so he had a huge imagination, so he was into superheroes. And so his comfort zone is he would become an imaginary Spider-Man, Batman, and that's how he would deal with uncomfortable situations. They have worked around him, and they've developed programs for him that suit Ethan. And I know it's different from everyone else, but they're willing to work with us, with the school, to make sure that everyone's on the same page. And they're quite happy just to help Ethan no matter what it'll take. So even if it's not textbook or what other individuals are doing, it's very individualized.
Ethan wasn't a cookie cutter. Basically, he's autistic, but he's different. Like, a lot of autistic kids don't like to be hugged. He's very huggy. Right? That's just one instance of how he's different on the spectrum. And so they actually helped us with the school to work with setting up a program for him at school. Like I said, the one time that we went to Disneyland, and he couldn't stand in a lineup, he was having tantrums and stuff. This time, I remember when we were first walking downtown Disney, he's walking with the other boys, everything's fine. We didn't have to hold his hand or anything. And Michelle got a tear in her eye, and she's like, because he's changed, he's getting better.
And I think he did better in the lineups than his brothers did. Like, he was so calm and understanding that I gotta wait in line, right?
Yeah.
So that was cool.
If it wasn't for them to help with us in the school system, I don't know if Ethan would be as far along as he is today. Through Reach, we were able to find Melissa. Melissa Dotto was his first behavioral interventionist. She now works for Reach in other areas, but if it wasn't for her, she was able to say, hey, he's not your standard autistic kid. We have to adjust our program to work with him and how he is. And I just think that if that did not happen, I don't know where we would be.
We would text them, it seems like at any time of the day with a problem or a concern, and they would always get back to us and have a solution. They were just always there when we didn't know what to do.
But without, I would say without where Reach has gotten us today, I don't know if I would be. Yeah, just be happy like the other kids.
Well, I think the last 2 years, I'm totally optimistic. Seeing what he can do, I don't think there's anything he can't do.